How's it going, guys? Welcome back to garden vlog number 22, I believe. Might be 23. I'll have to look. However, today, pretty easy day. I know it's gonna be a shorter video, but we're gonna maintain my pickling cucumber plants. As you see, we've got some craziness going on. We've already got some cucumbers coming. I'll get you guys a closer look at those here in a moment. But pretty much what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to get them to all go up. I did plant 8 over here, and I was hoping they'd all go up at the same time. However, you know, plants do plant things, and they don't do what you want to do. So I'm going to carefully go through, and all their little fingers and stuff that use attached to things, I'm going to very carefully either unwind them or pinch them. I'm going to tie them off to my trellis so they grow up and over, and try to get them fixed up so they look really nice. The reason you want to do this is so they're not laying on the floor, laying on the dirt on the other side, stuff like that. They have air flow. Excuse me. They have airflow. They can grow freely, stuff of that nature. So let's go ahead and start with this section here. See what we got going on. All right. So my first section here, we've got some craziness going on. All kinds of stuff. Looks like we've got plants hanging on the plants when plants should be not hanging on the plants. So I'm gonna choose a spot and start working on it. Go in here and kind of see what's the deal, who's doing what. So it looks like we got one plant that's coming from this other direction, trying to come this way, which has caused these vines here to come out and out the bottom. So I want to try to bring him back the way he came and avoid breaking off any of these delicious pickles I have already growing. Looks like I found my missing flowers there. Been looking for those for a while now, so I'm glad I found them. I don't know if you can see them from over there. Got some beautiful pickling cucumbers coming in. That's really nice. Let's see how much that has freed up for me. So I've got this long one that needs to go up all the way up to here. Looks like he's just got leaves. Not really any stem growth as far as getting more pickles, just for the leaves. So he'll be good right about there. But my main concern is what's going on down here. I see I have stuff growing down and out. So let's go ahead and try to get this guy taken care of best I can. They sure are prickly little suckers, aren't they? It actually looks like this plant is coming from the other side now, not the side I want it to come from. Let's see. There we are. Bring this guy straight up like that. Get him tied off real quick. You don't want to tie him too tight because the plant will keep growing and then it'll slowly cut itself from the string. So trying to do it loosely will help benefit you and your plant later. We'll push him through the other side there. Now let's get a closer look what's going down here, down at the corner, and see if we can bring those guys up. All right, down here at the corner. Holy moly. Do we have a mess? This might get a little more interesting. Holy cow. This guy can go all the way up. Wow. We're gonna put him up there for now. So we got another guy right here that needs to come up. We'll bring him up about right there. Looks like we have another guy hanging out down here that also needs to come up. A few of them. Let's see. Let's take our tall guy and move him over a little bit. For now, looks like he comes off of this stem here. Let's see if we can get him up and about that way. Bring him there. We'll grab the other guy, wherever he just went. We got one here and one here. That should get us off the ground perfectly. So I'll grab a little bit of string. I'm going to twist him around the trellis here. Hopefully that'll help persuade him to continue the correct way. If not, then I'll be back out here in a few days to fix him up a little bit. Maybe fix his fingers. Come back around or pull him off. We'll bring this guy. Let's bring him in. Won't tie him because he'll figure it out once he gets in there, kind of which way he needs to go. All right, there is that problem solved. I got all these weeds that need to get pulled. So let's go ahead and start moving along, see what else we can do. And as we move along this section here, a lot of these guys just need a little more fixing up for which way they need to go. You don't really need to tie them, it's just getting them on the correct path to where, like this guy's already connected all the way up to the top. The cool thing about these cattle trellises is if plants are coming up and you weave them around it once or twice, eventually they figure out where they need to go. So it makes it a little bit easier as to what's going on. So we have this guy right here. So we actually got a few of them. So let's start with this guy. It's closest to the trellis. We'll We'll bring him back up and through, like so. So he'll start to grow up and around. This wonderful guy, we'll bring him up and around. Try not to break them off. That's really the ideal thing we want to avoid. Looks like I've got this guy down here. Needs to come through. Probably about right there. We'll bring him through for now. We'll come back and grab him later. This is the part that gets worse. Is sometimes things get really close to the ground, so you want to make sure you go down there and bring them up. Here's a closer look to what's going on down here. So we want to try to get these guys off the floor. So you just want to kind of pick a spot here and try to detangle, see where everything's running off to, see what plant it's coming off of. Pinch those guys off. There's one. There's another one. There's another. And there's another. So if I bring these up, everyone's gonna follow, because it's gonna push everything to come up this way. Same on this side. We'll bring everything up with it. We'll be able to see the ground and the wood. So let me guys move you up a little bit so you guys can see that happen. Alright, now that we have this side cleaned up, we're going to jump onto the other side of the trellis and check out to see if we can bring anything back this way and around. Alrighty, and here's where the real fun begins. A lot of these guys we can bring back through and just shove them that way, because as they come up, they're going to be alright. We have this guy here that needs to come up like so. Let's see the stranglers here. And there's a good one. Here's two more good ones. They need to come up and out of the dirt. Pull everything out of the way a little bit here. Make you a closer look what I'm gonna do down here. Now, this is where things will get a little weird. What I'm gonna do is, because there's a lot going on the way up here, first I'm gonna bring this guy a little bit closer in, tie him off. that. So he's out of the way. While I'm up here, I'll go ahead and get this guy taken care of as well. Alright, so I'm going to try to find the very ends of these plants. So right down here, where this node is, or this end, where it starts to split off, all I'm going to do is make a pretty easy knot right around it. Not too tight, just enough so it can grab onto. So I've only had it happen a few times. It worked out pretty well where it grew along the string line and made its way up. And that's what we're trying to do here. So just like that. And I'll pick a high spot. Just like that. So that way the plant, hopefully it grabs on and makes its way back up. That's the idea. Sometimes you gotta get a little convincing. So let's go ahead and get that sorted out. You don't want it too tight. You want it just tight enough so it's pulling on it to bring it up. You don't want to be yanking it out of the ground. Same thing with this one here. We're going to find a decent spot. That's going to let it continue to grow and come up. So I'm going to choose right down here. Have him come up as well, just like that. Get him tied off, looking good. Let's see what else we've got hiding around down here as we work our way down the trellis. All right. I also have eggplants and something else planted over here. So, trying to make sure these guys aren't getting choked out. It's really the idea. Here's another good one that I'm going to tie off. I think right here's a good spot. Bring him up just like that. tied off real nicely here. We'll go ahead and take this guy's fingers, wrap it around the string. Maybe it'll sort itself out. Looks like we got one last one here. That needs some fixing, and we will be. Oh. And while I get this guy tied up, now's probably a good time to let you guys know to check out my channel and my playlist. All my gardening vlogs are in there. Anything I do out here in the garden does get recorded. So if you like what you see in this video, go check out the other ones. Super fun. I haven't done any harvesting yet or canning, but I will be getting into that here soon. I'll be doing a lot of cowboy candy this year. That was a hit between a lot of my friends, and they asked for more. Oops. I don't want to do that. That's not ideal for the plants. Let's go ahead and try that again. Alright, now we can do this last guy, get him cleaned up, and we will be all set. I do have the other side, so this trellis goes like this, like an M. I've got these on one side, these on both sides with tomatoes in the middle. And those are a challenge to keep up with, to kind of keep the airflow in this area pretty well. So probably next week there'll be another video out of me getting those cleaned up for the airflow, so there's no more issues there. And there we have it. Now everyone can breathe. These guys, there's some shorter ones here at the bottom. I'll give them a little bit longer to grow out. get them moved around. As far as that, we got everyone off the ground. We got some little pickles coming in. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.